lesson? Well, today's lesson is a little different. It's informative and basically creating awareness about a universal issue that happens all over the world, and it's called sexual harassment. Okay? So in today's lesson, we are going to take a look at various forms of sexual harassment. Now, what is sexual harassment? Sexual harassment is unwanted behavior, okay? It's unwanted behavior that is offensive, and of course, it is sexual in nature, okay? Okay, it is sexual in nature. Now, when do we say that someone is subject to sexual harassment or someone is sexually harassing you? Okay, there are certain things that we need to observe and keep in mind. And remember, when you encounter these situations, you need to be alert, you need to be careful and ensure you are safe. Okay, so the first type is grope. Now, when people commonly say that someone was groping himself, okay, now grope means it's a very informal word used to say someone is touching a body part to get sexual pleasure, okay. Okay, now I have an image here for you. Now supposing this lady is in a public place or she's walking down a crowded road, and there's this man who tries to touch her parts like her bust, her genital area. Your genital area or your genital organs are your reproductive organs, okay? Now imagine someone tries to completely brush her or tries to feel her, okay? It is offensive, and obviously you don't like when someone does that to you. It is kind of groping, okay? When someone is touching you. Now sometimes when you're in a crowded place, there are people who would like to just brush across like this, and you kind of jerk and feel, you just jerk, and it's like you have a knee-jerk reaction and you feel, oh my God, something is not right. All right. Now this is an unpleasant touch because someone is touching you in one of your private parts, right? So when you come across this situation, be careful, okay? Make sure you're safe, make sure you're around people, okay? So groping is when someone touches you. Now it is not necessary, groping only means touching another person. It could be a man who is feeling his genital organs and pressing it just to indicate that he has a sexual desire, okay? So he could grope himself too. And when you see a person like that who's trying to indicate, that means he's feeling himself and trying to gesture you, remember, stay away from such people and make sure you're safe, okay? So groping, well, you can have even touching or brushing. Okay, so you can say, so brushing one's private part or another person's, you kind of, move your hand through. It is a form of sexual harassment, all right? The next one is facial expressions. Now, say for example, you're traveling by train, okay, and there's this guy who finds you very sexually attractive, or he wants to convey something to you. He does it through his facial expressions. Now, when I say facial expressions, I do not mean someone who just smiles cordially at you. Of course not. I'm talking about, having suggestive expressions. For example, he will lick his lips like this, He'll try to tell you that, he has sexual desires, or he gives you this unpleasant look, or he just stares at you, or probably is opposite you, and he stares at your bust. He makes you feel very uneasy. So this is a form of sexual harassment, when people make these facial expressions, please be very careful, okay? They are not friendly or pleasant expressions like a normal smile would be. This is something serious. The person's intention is not correct, okay? He has wrong intentions. Be aware when someone, again, either bites their lips or licks their lips or stares at you or probably stares at your private parts. Be very careful. Okay, so the next one is inappropriate looks. All right, now inappropriate looks means someone who, well, when someone who just admires you will always give you a very pleasant look to appreciate the kind of probably figure that you have. But when someone looks at you up to down and kind of checks you out and cannot get his eyes off you, and he has suggestive looks or tries to make you feel that, oh my God, you are someone that I desire and fancy, and obviously the intentions are not correct. This is when you say someone has inappropriate looks. Or sometimes they catch your attention by even kind of winking at you like this. All right, and of course that's not friendly, that's not a kind gesture to make. Please be aware and be careful because he is giving you inappropriate looks. That means incorrect, unacceptable looks. Okay. The next one is sexual drawings. Now, it could be sexual drawings, pictures, images. Now, again, supposing you're in a public place and this guy has his magazine and he sees a picture of this lady and he tries to indicate it to you by showing it to you, get your attention, or he tries to point out, like for example, this is a picture, he tries to point out inappropriately by probably he will just touch this part of the picture, or he will touch this part, or he will gesture something like that to you. That means he is expressing his sexual desire through an image or a drawing, okay? So when someone is trying to do this or trying to indicate something like this to you, ignore and stay away. Do not respond to these people, all right? So this is also a form of sexual harassment when they show you a drawing or a picture and try to tell you about their sexual desire. Okay, friends, the next one is sexual favor. Now, this is something very upfront and bold. There could be people you know, they could be your friends, they could be your colleagues, they could be anyone, even an acquaintance. It could just be anyone comes up and tells you probably they want to have intercourse with you, or they just want to feel you for fun and get intimate with you. And of course, there is no love, there is no relationship or bond, there is no attachment. And basically, they just want to have some fun and have a good time with you. And then they tell you how nice it would be, or they would give you a great time, or both of you could have a great time. And this is when you very directly ask someone for sexual favor. And well, do not give in, say no, and make sure you report this to someone senior, maybe a family member or maybe a senior colleague in your office. But make sure this is reported, because if you don't do it, a lot of other ladies will be a victim to this, okay? So sexual favors means they are very clear about their intentions. They just want to have a good time. They just want to feel you, okay? And friends, be careful and be aware of such people, and do take some action, but make sure you have senior people who will help you in such a situation, okay? Well, and the next one is physical intimidation. Now, there are people who will not be very direct like this, who will ask for sexual favors. Now, what they'll do is, supposing you're standing here, they'll come and stand close to you, okay? I mean, so close that you would just not feel comfortable, okay? And they'll come right close to you, or they'll kind of try to stroke your back and make you feel very comfortable, or maybe again try to brush against you, or when you're standing at your desk, maybe just pass by touching your shoulders, or probably just taking the hand across your butt, and that is called physical intimidation. They intimidate you by coming too close to you, and that's when we say that's too close for comfort, okay? They get into you, they don't let you feel comfortable. And remember, when people try to behave a little funny, stay away from these people and keep yourself safe. So you have standing close to someone, brushing or stroking someone, or just stroking someone's butt across like that, okay, that is called physical intimidation. Remember, nobody is supposed to enter into that personal space of yours, okay? The next one is cyberbullying. Well, this is one of the most common forms of sexual harassment. You could have people doing this, from a different country altogether. Now, cyberbullying means when they use the internet, your WhatsApp, social media to express their sexual desires. So you could have someone who probably you don't even know but has your number and sends you a nude picture on WhatsApp, or kind of emails you certain dirty jokes, or it could be images or even a porn video, and they use cyber as a medium to express their social desire. So when you receive such pictures or videos, or there could be chain letters all about sexual activities, remember, you could take action and they would get into cybercrime. We call this cyberbullying because it is done via internet. And like I said, this is the most common form of sexual harassment because it's really easy to do it, right? And you are not the only person subject to it. They could be just sending it to masses across. So remember, take action. Do not give in by replying to them or anything. Do something about it to stop this kind of sexual harassment, which is very common. Okay friends, so these are few common forms of sexual harassment which is universal. Be aware of them, and well, now you know when people use these expressions and when they speak, you know exactly what they mean, right friends? So well, this brings me to the end of this lesson. I hope this was informative. I hope this could help you and your friends. So remember, stay safe always. I'll be back soon with a new lesson. Till then, take care and bye.